welcome to the Cultivating Calmness Podcast. My name is Kaela Vance, and today I just want to do a quick little recap about the exciting things that have happened, or thing that happened in the last few days, and that would be the eclipse. I know everybody's talking about it, so I'm going to talk a little bit about it too, but I wanted to give it maybe just a little bit of a different spin and just talk about it from the perspective of nature and being able to get out and support your immune system, support your body by being out in nature and the effect that can have. So hopefully you enjoy our talk today, and for those of you who maybe get to experience a total solar eclipse sometime in the future, I know there are several that will happen well into the future. As far as in the United States, there will only be a handful in the next 100 years, and from what I learned, it will be another 75 years, so the year 2099, before we have one in Ohio again. So if you are living in Ohio and you are here your whole life, well, if you are an infant now, you will be 75 years old the next time we have a total solar eclipse here in Ohio. So that's where I am, and my family and I went up to Cleveland. We would have been able to see it pretty close to where we are here in Columbus, but many months ago we decided we were going to go up to Cleveland and spend the day with some friends who live up there, and we had a really good time. And honestly, we spent most of the day outside, and by the time we got there and just met up with everybody, we got settled, and then we kind of hung out outside, and we didn't have our necks, and our eyes up at the sun with the special glasses on the whole time. We really just had a good, enjoyable time being outside, sitting in the grass, getting some grounding in. So that's barefoot, your hands in the grass, preferably grass that doesn't have, chemicals sprayed on it. And you can rejuvenate your system. The energy that you get from grounding is a very positive experience. I personally do it all the time. I don't typically go out and do grounding just to do grounding, whereas some practitioners will recommend like getting outside barefoot, standing in some grass or sand or dirt every day for even just 5 minutes a day. I don't typically do that, but I love gardening. So when I'm gardening, more often than not, I'm doing it barefoot, although not every time. So I get my grounding in there. So grounding is one way. If you did enjoy the eclipse, that's one way we were able to enjoy nature, was by practicing grounding. If you did get to experience the total solar eclipse that happened the other day, did any of you notice what happened with you around, in nature? So some of the things that I noticed was the temperature change, and then the color change. It became a little hazy, kind of like at nighttime, but it did feel different. It didn't feel quite like it usually does, at normal nighttime, but I could be totally wrong. It just was such a unique experience that it felt, it felt very different, but you definitely sense it. And actually an observation that my husband made that I hadn't made was, we knew that the bees would disappear, and that the crickets would come out, but here, it's April, it was April 8th. And so that, the crickets aren't quite here yet in Ohio. So we did not hear crickets, but we did see the gnats. So there's little gnats that started like coming out as it started getting hazy out and definitely getting darker. The gnats were out. And then when the sun came back up and it was, back out again and it wasn't hazy anymore, gnats were gone, bees were back, butterflies were back. So we definitely saw that. We didn't have any animals to observe per se, so we didn't observe any animal changes. We did that temperature drop, so that was nice. It was a really warm day yesterday. That was really nice. So having the sun beating down on us, getting that vitamin D, and being able to be around people that we enjoyed being around. So many people went to like solar eclipse parties, and they were able to be around other people who were enjoying the experience with them, or maybe it was just your family members or your coworkers. A lot of people obviously still had to work, and I chose not to work that day because I wanted to spend that time with family and friends and be able to enjoy that experience. So some people didn't have that privilege or ability. So I hope that, if you were working, you were able to step outside or peek outside and see what was going on. But really just wanting to, hope you noticed the nature that was around you and being able to enjoy that experience. And there are many, there are themes or messages that people got from the eclipse, with the moon passing in front of the sun and blocking out the light, and kind of renewal, and a lot of people had some negative views about what that could mean, but really it was trying to take in that experience. So pretty much a once in a lifetime experience. And especially since, we didn't have to go very far. We chose to go visit some people. We could have stayed pretty close to home and seen it. And for those of you who haven't quite experienced it around the world, or, here in America, maybe one day soon, you will get a chance to experience this without having to travel very far. If we wanted to see it again, we could travel somewhere where it's going to be. And then that would make it less than a once in a lifetime experience. For the most part, it is. And just being able to be present. So that's a mindfulness piece is, we had our phones out, but our phones were out trying to take pictures and looking through the glasses, and that really wasn't working. I am not a photographer by any means, so definitely was not able to get any professional photos. I do have several friends that are photographers, and they were able to get some nice photos of the experience and of the eclipse with their equipment, so that is great to see. So anytime you're having an experience like that, it doesn't have to be an eclipse. It could just be a nice day outside, or the type of weather that maybe you like. Some people love rainy days, being able to enjoy the rain. Some people like to sit on their porch and watch the rain come down, listen to it, watch the lightning and hear the thunder rolling. Those are experiences that some people really enjoy. Personally, I don't mind watching a storm and listening to it and hearing and watching the rain. That sounds peaceful to me, kind of exciting. Granted, I don't want anything bad to happen, but I do enjoy watching it and hearing it. So when you have these types of experiences, whether it's a once in a lifetime or whether it, happens fairly often, being able to put yourself in that position to enjoy those experiences and get some of that benefit from a mindfulness perspective. And being able to kind of fill your cup, soothe your soul, and get you in a mind, a frame of mind, or a place in your heart where you're feeling at peace and relaxed and experiencing enjoyment. So that I got to experience that the other day. It was just a pretty phenomenal experience, on top of the fact that we were able to experience that with friends and people that we cared about, and our children, and be able to see them get excited and their faces of like, oh my gosh, when they would look up and look through those glasses. It was just really fun and amazing experience. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and just kind of think about how you can take those moments and use them to your advantage, especially when it comes to things that happen in nature. So, whether it's this week or next week, sometime soon, thinking about how you can use the benefits of nature, the sunlight, the trees, the air, the grass, and you being able to be in those places, taking long walks, putting your feet on the ground without your shoes on, enjoying the laughter that maybe your children or other children are experiencing, playing on the playground or at the park, hearing the nature noises, the wind blowing, the leaves rustling, and birds chirping, bees humming. Those are all pieces that can center you, can bring you a sense of peace, and can fill your cup and relieve some stress and anxiety. And I hope you can utilize those things for yourself and receive some of that help from nature. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed being able to see the eclipse if you were able to. And if not, maybe you will get the opportunity to see something like that in the future. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk with you again next week.